Well, straight first to the news that is coming in this morning. A terror attack that has taken place in Janglot area of an army camp in Kathua district of Jammu and Kashmir. Latest reports emerging from the area suggest that there is firing taking place in this area, which houses an artillery unit. Suspected terrorists in army uniforms first attacked a civilian vehicle carrying pilgrims and opened fire on them. One person has been killed and 3 others were injured in this attack. The abandoned white Bolero, the car has now been recovered from an area that is close to the army camp. That's the latest information just coming in of the attack that has taken place in Jammu and Kashmir, in which terrorists came in combat uniform, hijacked a car, killed one of the pilgrims while injured 3 others.
Suspected terrorists attacked at attacked area of Hiranagar area of Jammu, and they attacked pilgrims. 3 are seriously injured and 1 is dead. All the vehicles have been, police has sealed all the areas. As you can see how the commandos are working here. It was basically a white Bolero vehicle, and this is another vehicle. They are just searching the area whether they can change the vehicle. That is the reason that the commandos have been deployed, and all the areas has been sealed. The school and colleges of Jammu city, they have also been they have been told not to open the school and colleges, and the commandos have been deployed on Jammu Pathankot National Highway. No vehicle is allowed inside of Jammu without the checking and frisking of the vehicle. Police is suspecting that the terrorists may change the vehicle. That is the reason they are checking all vehicles. Commandos have been deployed on all Naka parties areas. That is the reason the alert has been sounded in Samba, Kathua and Jammu districts. School and colleges have been stopped, and the army installation, they have been told to be alert all along the area because of terrorist attack. They can't attack somewhere because the last time they attacked Samba and Hiranagar area and 10 people were killed. Ashwini Kumar for Headlines Today in Jammu.
पुलिस वाले लाए हैं 3 आदमी, वो कहते हैं एक की डेथ हो गई है, 3 को गोली है। मिलिटेंट ने बोला कि मिलिटेंट आए थे। अच्छा, तो उन्हें हुआ है डाला चक। हाँ जी।
तो अभी कितने बजे के करीब हुआ?
अभी हम उधर से पता नहीं पीछे कितना टाइम लगा इनका, हमें कोई ज्यादा जान।
कितने लोग थे, कुछ बताया क्या?
3 बोला उन्होंने, आर्मी की वर्दी में थे 3।
Well, former DGP Jammu and Kashmir, Mr. M.M. Khajuria, is joining us on the phone line right now on this terror attack that has been reported from Kathua in Jammu and Kashmir, in which 1 civilian has died, 3 have been injured. Sir, could you just share with us a little more information, because as a correspondent was just telling us, the last attack that was reported from Hiranagar was also very close to the international border. Could you just elaborate a little more on where exactly has this attack been reported from?
This attack has taken place in Janglot village. That's across the national highway coming from Pathankot towards Jammu. This area has been witnessed earlier also activity by the terrorists, and it opens up into the Lower Shwalik and thereafter beyond. The incidents that have taken place, I am not surprised about this, because after Nawaz Sharif visited Muzaffarabad last time, chaired that meeting of the atatcked so-called atatcked Council, and threatened that if things do not pan out in Jammu and Kashmir as he wished, there could be a real danger of nuclear conflict. Now, that is something which we should have taken seriously and watched how they have been going about. So this is a part of the chain of their plans for sabotage and subversion, creating problems in Jammu, particularly in Jammu, because Jammu is now in the eye of this terrorist storm. And we can show that the international community, about which they have very recently spoken in the United Nations for intervention, does intervene to their benefit. And they also related to the happenings, expected happenings in Afghanistan, and all that it flow from it.
Right.
We have to look at it in the larger perspective and take action accordingly.
All right, Mr. Khajuria, just stay on with me for a moment more. We are trying to get fresh details. Also joining us on the phone line right now is my colleague Gaurav Sawant. Gaurav, as Mr. Khajuria was mentioning, there are several similarities according to initial reports that are coming in. These terrorists were wearing combat uniform. Also, this place, again, where the attack is taking place, is close to the international border. What more can you confirm for us at this point of time?
जी सर जी
not just the combing operation, but also an effort is being made to ensure that these terrorists can be spotted, isolated and neutralized. As Mr. Khajuria and Ashwini Kumar rightly pointed out, very similar to the previous attack that had taken place in Samba, where we lost an army lieutenant colonel and several other soldiers and civilians. In this particular case, once again, these terrorists were in uniform. They, after crossing, what is suspected is after crossing the international border, they first stopped one car, killed the person, then have moved on to another car. Again, what they're trying to do, according to sources, is target high value, either a military installation, a school, a hospital, a college. There was an intelligence alert some time back, not a very specific alert of timing, but some time back, there was an alert that a Samba kind of a repeat incident can take place. Pakistani terrorists are trying that. Whether it links up to this one remains to be seen. But you'll notice a change from last time. One, information was circulated immediately. Installations have taken care immediately. And now a combing operation has started, Ruchika, to try and figure out how do you stop these terrorists, and in future, how do you stop such incidents.
Right, and Gaurav, as you were mentioning, in the previous incident as well, the Hiranagar incident, we saw how a civilian vehicle was first hijacked by terrorists, and in fact it moved around for good 2 hours before it was intercepted. In this case as well, a civilian vehicle was targeted, it was taken away by the terrorists. In fact, they travelled in it, and now there are reports just coming in of intermittent firing that is being heard from an army camp.
That is the information so far, that there is a gunner unit, an artillery unit which these terrorists were trying to target, and there is a QRT, a quick reaction team. After the Samba incident, that's another lesson that the army learned. Samba was out of the immediate grid where army deploys QRTs, which Samba is seen as a peace station. But now in entire Jammu and Kashmir and adjoining areas post that incident, standard operating procedures were changed, and what the army has now done is immediate deployment of quick reaction teams and smaller commando units for quicker deployment. So it is near an artillery unit that some firing was heard. Again, the army now trying to figure out if these terrorists are holed up in one area. Special forces, which are army commandos, they are being called in to isolate these people in one area and then take them down.
Right, Gaurav, and also just one more point about how terrorists are sneaking in from international border has almost become routine. This is once again highlighting how there are perhaps several lapses there that need to be covered, security lapses, intelligence lapses too perhaps, which is why we're seeing this increased activity.
Somewhere down the line, yes, there is a 740-kilometer long line of control and another 200-kilometer long international border, which these terrorists exploit loopholes to try and come in, which was discovered in the Samba area. But the fact that terrorists immediately get into use an army uniform, they have military-grade weapons. The fact that they can roam around, they have some kind of local help which helps them move around. All of that is, whether it is investigated in the right earnest and local sleeper cells are neutralized, remains a big issue for the security forces, and especially in an election year. Will this happen? If you remember, just when Yasin Bhatkal was arrested, and after that, in recent arrests of Tehseen alias Monu and Waqas, now Indian Mujahideen to a large extent has been neutralized in our country.
Right.
This is an offshoot of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, but Lashkar-e-Taiba on its own and other assorted terrorist organizations in Pakistan are desperately trying to show their presence in India. An attack like Samba or like an attack that's taking place this morning,
Right.
attacking pilgrims who are going to Jammu and Kashmir, especially Vaishno Devi, is something that they do to target the morale of the country.
Right.
And that is why for the security forces it's essential to take them down immediately.
Gaurav, just stay on with me. We also have Ashwini Kumar joining us now from Jammu. Ashwini, the latest reports flashing suggest that there's still firing taking place intermittently in area which houses an artillery unit. So, in a way, are we looking at this as an attack on the army camp that is there? What's the latest situation on the ground?
Yeah, this is the latest that militant after abduction of this vehicle, they immediately attacked the Junglot army camp in Kathua district, and the contact has been established between the army commandos, and the three militants have been spotted, and firing is still going on. There is a heavy fire from the militant side and from the army also side. The area has been cordoned. The whole national highway from Jammu to Pathankot has been sealed. Around 100 kilometers area has been sealed. No vehicle is allowed from Punjab side, from Madhupur side, because thousands of pilgrims from Mata Vaishno Devi shrine, they are coming here because of the Navratra starting from 31st of this month, and that is the reason the whole area has been sealed, and firing is still continuing, and there is a three militant that has been established by the fire of the militant, and the vehicle has been recovered near Kathua highway, and they attacked immediately. This is surprising that at least for 3 hours, the terrorists were roaming around the area in Kathua district, but the army and the police were alert in Jammu city. They were suspecting that the terrorists may attack Jammu school, colleges, or the secretariat, because the VIP movement is continuing, because this is the area in Hiranagar district where the Prime Minister candidate, BJP Prime Minister Narendra Modi, addressed the public gathering in Hiranagar 2 days back, and even the Ghulam Nabi Azad is moving this area, because this is the constituency of the Udhampur district, Hiranagar Kathua area. The VIP movement is still continuing, but today the whole process has been stopped, and the police has told the civil administration that there should not be for the time being, any election process should not be allowed, because the terrorists will be neutralized. After that, they can go for that. And the local administration also in Kathua, they have they closed down the school and colleges, because the terrorists, they have one program that attack on the army or the school children. That is the first target of this area. That intelligence has been already shared by the all agencies to the state administration. The firing is still continuing, and militants have they have a maximum fire power. They are just contacting that they have grenades also. They are throwing grenade on the army camp also. Yeah.
Right. We're also joined on the phone line right now by retired Major General Sheru Thaplyal. General Thaplyal, thank you for joining us. Reports coming in of an artillery unit that is currently under attack by terrorists who in fact first attacked a civilian vehicle, killed one pilgrim, then moved away with the vehicle. That vehicle has now been traced, but there is firing on as we speak at an artillery unit in Jammu. The last time the attack took place in Hiranagar, it in a way revealed how the people of the army camp, the Jawans there, were almost sitting ducks. They were taken by this element of surprise with this attack. It seems it's a similar sort of attack that has been launched this time again.
Yeah, that area appears to be prone to this, because that Hiranagar area is close to where the firing is going on in Junglot area. There is an artillery unit there, 1 or 2 I think. But I'm sure what they would have done this time was to inform all concerned, which was not done last time. First thing is to inform all units, everybody in the area, so that everybody is alert and aware, and no forced entry or that kind of a thing can take place. And I'm sure they'll be able to eliminate these fellows. They are all fidayeen, they're prepared to die. The aim should be to contain the collateral damage.
Right. Sir, could you also elaborate a little more about this particular area which is under attack? You said there is one of the artillery units that is placed there. Does this area also have a sizable civilian population?
When you come from Samba towards Pathankot, this area, Junglot, is on the way. And there is a cantonment there where there is 1 or 2 artillery units located. So the fencing, etc., is there, and I don't think they'll be able to enter the cantonment. And by now, the alert must have been sounded, and everybody would be alert. Nobody, sentries and others would be in place. So I have no doubt that they'll be able to eliminate these fellows. But the point to note is that how is it that they are crossing the border in the same area to come into this area, the same area, the Hiranagar and south of that.
Right. So you do see a pattern in these attacks. It's also very similar in nature to the one that took place a couple of days ago, a couple of months ago, pardon me, sir, where one lieutenant colonel along with several other Jawans were killed.
You know, there's an area there heavily wooded called Kathua Pansar. Because I know that area because that was my operational area when I was a commanding officer long ago.
Right.
So there is a forested area through which these fellows can come. And apparently, even after last time's, incident, whoever is manning the border there, the BSF or must be the BSF, they aren't very alert, it appears.
All right, Major General retired Sheru Thapliyal, thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Let me just go back to Mr. Khajuria, the former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir. At some level, do you also feel there have been lapses as far as alerts are concerned, which is why attacks of similar nature have been witnessed time and again?
Yeah, I think this is a matter of very grave concern that they should have been not only been able to infiltrate from practically the same area, but perform this a repeat of what they had done earlier. You see, basically there have been some talk about even in the media about clearing the sort of forested part of it, but it doesn't seem to have happened. It has not happened adequately. There's something primarily wrong with this. We are reacting to the situation as a matter of habit.
Right.
This need to be changed. Because people's confidence is being shaken because of these things happening every now and then. And particularly, as mentioned by your correspondent, in these days of electioneering and all kinds of high-profile VIPs roaming around, they are very vulnerable and very important targets. Now, the basic point is that we as a nation are in the habit of dealing with firefighting, and thereafter we relapse into our usual carelessness on the issues of national security. I think this must change very drastically,
right.
And somebody has to be held to account for this. You can't